Hello, this is Chris Waddell. Welcome to 60 Seconds, the stories and highlights from the Paralympics here in Beijing. We've had another great day and we're looking forward to more. We are in the broadcast center here in Beijing called Bob, and we'll learn more about that as we go on. Stick with us. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
I'm here with Johannes X. Arcos, who is in charge of all of the impressive stuff around here. What's going on here? Can you tell us?
Yeah, we're now in the heart actually of the operation of broadcasting. This is what we call the CDT. Stands for contribution, distribution, transmission. So it's practically the master control of the games. It's where all productions, all feeds as we call them, from all the different venues arrive, and where we distribute them in all the rights holding broadcasters. We're right in the center of the International Broadcast Center of Beijing. This is by far the largest operation ever in terms of broadcasting. It was set up for the Olympics, and now we're using it, of course, for the Paralympics. During the Olympic Games, this center was practically the largest operating broadcast master control in the world.
Are there any challenges that you see on the broadcast side covering the Paralympics that you wouldn't have in the Olympics? I mean, you have different athletes, you have different ways of approaching the sport in some ways. Does that force you to approach different camera angles, different things like that?
Of course it does, but I want to tell you that in some cases this is also the case with the Olympic Games. This is the interesting thing with the Olympics and the Paralympics from a broadcast point of view. You're always looking into ways of doing things slightly different, to be more innovative. I don't know. It's specifically in the Olympic Games and the Paralympic Games that as a broadcaster you feel compelled to think differently, to think outside of the box, to develop new things. And I believe also to a certain extent viewers and spectators also expect that in pretty much the same way as they expect to be astonished by the achievements of the athletes. They also expect that television may do something new or something different. So yes, always we're looking into ways of doing things differently. Yes, Paralympic Games do impose certain different specifications, and this is what we studied during the planning period. Planning for the coverage of the Paralympic Games also takes almost a year and a half. Here, especially in Beijing, we had the luxury to plan for the broadcasting for more than a year and a half. In Athens, we didn't have so much time, but here it did make a difference that we had all the time to study the sports better and to plan our production better.
And I'd imagine that is the fun part, is trying to represent the speed and communicate that speed to the people sitting in their homes, watching the speed, the strength, all those things. And I would think that as somebody in broadcast that's the fun part that you say, okay, how can we find a way to tell this story in the best way?
It's clear that this is the most interesting and the most creative part of our job, albeit it's only 20%, I would say. The rest is meetings, reports, Excel files, and more meetings and more changes. You know, the games are so complicated that most of the time actually is being taken into organizational activities, especially the coordination with the organizing committees. They have a huge task, and to integrate broadcasting into that is not easy. So yes, we cherish these moments of creative work when we're thinking how we can make the production better, how we can develop a new production system, a new camera, different lenses, new technologies, and so on. That's the fun part, absolutely.
Great. Well, thank you so much for being such a big part of the Paralympics and the Paralympics going forward. We appreciate you joining us. Johannes X. Arcos.
I'm really honored to have been part of this incredible Paralympic Games in Beijing.
Thank you very much. Take care.
The final three medals of the wheelchair tennis competition were decided on day 9 of the Beijing 2008 Paralympics. The fourth seeds, Sweden's Stefan Olsson and Peter Wikström, took on the second-seeded French pair Stéphane Houdet and Michael Jeremias in the men's doubles. In a rain-interrupted match, the French pair had won the first set before play was suspended. After starting the match on a high, Houdet and Jeremias were able to regain their focus again to finish off the match. They won in straight sets, 6-1, 7-6, after 2 hours play on Monday, in front of a packed crowd at the Olympic Green Tennis Centre. Jeremias won the silver medal in Athens with a different partner. An epic bronze medal match between Egypt and Russia in men's sitting volleyball was drawn out to 5 sets at the CAU Gymnasium. Egypt, the defending bronze medalists, lost the first set in a close-fought encounter but went on to take the second. Egypt made errors in both defence and attack, eventually handing the match and the bronze medal to Russia, who have now won their first ever medal in the sport. The gold match of the men's sitting volleyball was a rematch of the Athens 2004 final. World number 1 Bosnia and Herzegovina were pitted against Iran, who had to settle for silver in 2004 after previously dominating Paralympic competition for 12 years. After a tight first set, Iran ended up thrashing the defending champions, finishing the tournament without dropping a set. To wheelchair fencing, China tasted golden success on a brilliant day for the host nation. In the men's épée category A, 18-year-old Tian Jiangquan was the surprise winner of the gold medal. With poise and maturity beyond his years, he defeated his older teammate Zhang Lei 15-11. Tian, who is the world number 10, beat the world number 3, 4 and number 6 ranked athletes on his way to the final against the world number 9 Zhang. And in the women's épée category A, China's Zhang Tsun-Sui shocked world champion Yu Cui-yi in a rare victory over the Hong Kong China star in the gold medal match. Zhang is competing at her first Paralympics, but with the home crowd behind her, gave the fencing performance of her life, finishing the match with 2 stunning fast hits to clinch the gold.
Thanks again for joining us for another 60 seconds, the stories and the highlights from the Beijing Paralympics. The games aren't over yet. We're approaching the final events, so stick with us on Paralympic Sport TV.